All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Maddie here. Today we have a deck showcase. So Crimson Blaze released just yesterday. Everybody is sort of figuring out which new card is the best, which new strategy is the best. It's early on in the season, so we don't have a lot of data. We don't have, a lot of testing, concrete evidence to reveal what the best new strategies or decks are. But today's video is going to be highlighting a particular deck that in a tournament yesterday went 7-1. So I want to give a shout out to Mena of Steel. He's a great Twitch streamer. He went 7-1 at 100-player tournament yesterday, and he was playing the new Mega Steelix with Oricorio. Throwbacks kind of to the Oricorio Absol deck from, previously at the beginning of the Mega Rising season. And to be fair, I think it's no mystery that Oricorio is typically a very strong card early on in seasons. And this way, when we're playing Pichus and the Onyx here with Brock, we can actually kind of turbo Mega Steelix. It's a bit more of an aggressive version of Mega Steelix, and then we can just incorporate Oricorio, which is hopefully going to win you games as well. So heavy helmet to be used here with Mega Steelix, and then of course we've got a bunch of other trainer cards that are useful. Copycat, Cyrus, Sabrina, Researches, even a Serena, one of the new Serena cards to search for our Mega Evolution Pokemon, and then double Brock as that way to generate fighting energy to Onyx. So this is a deck playing hopefully only steel energies. On the screen here it says steel and lightning. I need to change that to, of course, only metal energies, because Pichu here is going to be generating the steel energies, or sorry, the lightning energies. We're going to manually attach the steel energies, and then Brock is going to be able to accelerate fighting energies to Onyx. So if you take a look at Mega Steelix, you'll notice that it has double steel and then double colorless in its attack cost. So these colorless energies will utilize either fighting energy from Brock or lightning energy from Pichu. Definitely going to be more of a quicker way to build up Mega Steelix. This card is not that bad. I do think that an archetype like this is kind of getting half carried by Oricorio, just like the Absol Oricorio deck did last season. But it's a really fun way to play Steelix. And again, Mena of Steel went 7-1, so shout out to him. And a couple other players at tournaments yesterday also had really good records. So when you take a look at the win rates early on in the season in these small online competitions, this deck list actually has kind of the highest win rate. So that's what I'm going to showcase here today. We're going to do some gameplay and hopefully discuss what this deck can do a little bit. Now, am I suspect of a deck list like this? For sure. I'm a little bit suspicious of a particular deck like this doing extremely well, at least later on into the season. But again, Oricorio can carry decks early in the season. We saw it with Absol. So why not with Mega Steelix, right? That's kind of the trend. Anyway, let's get into some gameplay. Before we do that, though, I gotta go and let you guys know about our sponsor for today's video. That's right, we have a sponsor. Let's go check them out. If you ever wanted to build your dream Marvel squad, heroes, villains, all of it, then you need to dive into Marvel Strike Force, the free mobile squad RPG that puts the entire multiverse at your fingertips. There are tons of ways to battle. Campaigns, Blitz, Arena, Alliance War, Raids, and even Cosmic Crucible, where you can compete in head-to-head PvP tournaments. The metagame is always shifting, so there's always a new strategy, a new team comp, and a new game mode for you to master. Recruit icons like Iron Man, Wolverine, and Venom, and if you're just starting out, you can unlock up to 17 characters in your first 30 days. Synergy is everything here. Characters boost teammates, especially within their own factions like Avengers, X-Men, and Symbiotes, so building a well-balanced squad is the key to dominating every game mode. Join an alliance to tackle raids, earn big rewards, and battle in massive weekly alliance wars. And right now, celebrate the holidays with the limited-time Grootmas event to earn character shards, gear, material, and exclusive festival costumes. Make sure to use the promo code VENOMFREE to unlock Venom at no cost. Venom is an insane early game carry, and if you pair him with the symbiotes like Carnage, the synergy is unreal. Check out the link down in the description below to download Marvel Strike Force and start building your ultimate team today. And thank you again to Marvel Strike Force for sponsoring this video. All right, there it is. Shout out to the sponsor of today's video. Also, keep in mind, ranked battles are not coming out for another couple of weeks. So, just like Mega Rising, we've got a couple of weeks here with no ranked season starting up. So you might as well go register for our weekly tournament series. This weekend, we have the biggest tournament so far to date. We have $1,000 cash in the prize pool, plus a couple of full art chase cards. Link down in the description below to register. It's going to be a massive deal. I would heavily recommend that you guys go and play this weekend. $1,000 cash. Thank you to the community members for donating, to the prize pool. But anyway, let's dive into it and see what this deck can do. This is definitely going to be a bit more of like a slow roll deck, just like every other Oricorio deck is. We're playing on the casual ladder because ranked isn't out right now, so these are casual battles. No guarantee that we hit anything meta. When you're playing Oricorio, oftentimes it's, you know, a lot better into like the typical meta strategies than it is sort of these weird off-meta decks that you might be hitting on random battles. But the variety right now should be very high. Let's see what we can do here. If we lose every game in this video, you know, it is what it is, right? It's just the you know, that's life. When I'm recording for Pokemon Pocket, I oftentimes just lose a bunch of games. But no, this deck performed very well. I took the exact deck list from Mena of Steel's deck at the tournament last night. So shout out to him again. Go check him out over on Twitch. Also, as we get into this, looks like Pichu and perhaps Grass could be like a turbo, you know, Venusaur type deck list. But we're going to do something specific here, which is actually being able to use Brock turn 1 to get a fighting energy onto this Onix. Now, Brock only works for Onix, so do not evolve your Onix before using Brock. And now we have the decision here of like, you know, where do we want to put these energies? You know, Oricorio can, of course, be immune to Venusaur, Mega Venusaur EX, but in the same vein, it's also... it's not actually, I'm going to attach this to the Onix here because we have the Mega Steelix in hand. It also takes some damage from the poison, right? So, and Venusaur has so much HP, they're playing Erica's. Oricorio is really not a great option into Venusaur. In fact, I think Venusaur is extremely strong. I'll share my opinions about all of the new cards here and how they kind of feel. And there it is, of course, the Venusaur. So playing very similar strategies, he might also be playing Oricorio. We have to keep that in mind. Mega Steelix is not immune to poison. Which is funny. Neither are any steel Pokemon in Pokemon Pocket. But yeah, by the way, guys, go and check if you're subscribed to the channel, of course, because like I was saying, we can actually, if we wanted to, we could hit this Bulbasaur for 50, but I don't feel very confident about, you know, doing that. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to evolve the Steelix here, just like this. I'm just going to play the Serena here to just pull the other Steelix out of our deck, and then I'm probably going to end our turn here with Crackly Tossing onto the Oricorio, just because we only need, we already have 2 non-metal energies onto Steelix, so we can use this extra lightning energy on the Oricorio. Where was I? I'm all over the place in today's video. Yeah, go and subscribe. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. The community is growing very, very quickly, but if you look at like the data, 50% of the people that are watching my channel are not subscribed, and that's kind of crazy. If I'm being honest, that is kind of crazy. So I would definitely recommend that you guys go and subscribe. He is going to go ahead and Growth Extract a broken new item card into Ivysaur. It pulls the Ivysaur out of the deck. Now, the cool thing about Ivysaur is it can generate energies itself to, of course, you know, get enough energies to attack with Venusaur. However, Pichu there going to be kind of solving that problem. It looks like he's splitting the energies here. I find that to be pretty interesting. Now, the thing about Ivysaur is that it's not an attacking option. So typically Venusaur decks kind of have to play something, you know, other than Venusaur, Mega Venusaur EX to deal with Oricorio. So I'm just going to go ahead here, since I do have my 2 energies onto Oricorio. I'm just going to go ahead and bring it up into the active spot and take the KO on Pichu to take our first prize here. The second Onix comes down and a Brock. So this is really funny. I am just going to bench this probably. Yeah, we'll just bench this for now here. We could Brock to it next turn or Sabrina if we need to. And we'll deal 50 damage KOing this Pichu. So the cool thing about Oricorio alongside Mega Steelix is it's a single prize Pokemon, and whenever you can pair Oricorio with something that is strong, it usually kind of ends up being a really good deck list. So Oricorio always strong early on in the seasons here. Let's see if he does have perhaps, you know, non-EX Venusaur or something here to attack our Oricorio. The Mega Venusaur EX does come down here. We can Sabrina this up if we want to. We know he's probably playing Lily in his deck list, and he might also be playing, you know, I guess a non-EX attacker, right? So we got to be mindful of that at least. But yeah, we can set up actually double Steelixes here, or at least we can begin to. We are going to get copycatted, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we have to make the decision of whether we want to Sabrina up this Venusaur to deal some damage to it, or if we would rather... we do have 1 Sabrina, 1 Cyrus in this deck list, so we could be a little bit more proactive next turn, or we could just start building up the second Steelix. I don't know if Venusaur would be running Cyrus. I imagine like every deck in the game right now should be playing at least 1 Cyrus, but we'll see. He does Leaf Cape the Venusaur, goes to 270, and again, we know he's playing Lily or whatnot, but I might want to be proactive here, and he is going to go ahead and smack our Oricorio right in the face, which is a little bit scary. So, and we do have Cyrus, okay. So let's be proactive again here, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring up this Venusaur to start dealing some damage to it. Again, we're not going to win this game unless we go through their Mega. It's the same thing as them. I'll attach this to Mega Steelix. I'm going to wait to evolve this Onix because I'll probably Brock to it next turn. And yeah, we're just going to start chipping away. Hopefully we can get a couple attacks off here with Oricorio. I don't love Steelix's matchup, to be honest, into Venusaur because they play healing and we don't. We do run 2 heavy helmets. We've yet to draw into either of them yet, but that's certainly something that we're going to look for. So it looks like we will be getting a second attack off into Venusaur, potentially a third attack, actually, which is going to be really relevant. We're going to keep this Cyrus in our hand because as we see, he's building up a second Venusaur. Yeah, we got to be a little bit careful of that. So he's going to put us asleep and poison us, but we're immune to the attack. So let's see here if we can break out of sleep and get an attack off again. We do not. Okay, it's unfortunate. Venusaur is broken. Venusaur is an incredible Pokemon, and I think it has a lot of potential. I'm not going to lie. So this is our second Brock, so we can pretty comfortably play this Brock, attach manually, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I will go Mega Steelix here. We don't play any hand disruption in this deck as well, which is tough. And I can't retreat because I am asleep. And I'm poisoned, so we're going to take more damage. Maybe we get one more attack off here with Oricorio, but again, he's probably playing multiple copies of Lily in his deck list. So in the head-to-head matchup here, it's likely going to be, it's going to come down to whether he plays Cyrus or not in the matchup, just because he's going to deal more damage to us than we're going to be able to deal to him realistically. Also, he has more HP and more healing. So that's why this matchup probably isn't very good. We could have maybe kept a bench space open for a second Oricorio. That might have been smarter. Here comes the second Mega Venusaur, already almost set up for energy. So yeah, both of us here are getting set up. I just think in the head-to-head, a Venusaur kind of does beat Steelix. At least that's my opinion. And I love Venusaur. I really do. Depending on how, far, or I guess how, in-depth Charizard gets the season. Okay, we're back-to-back tails on the sleep here is very unfortunate, but the heavy helmet does come down. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to do anything with this Oricorio, which is tough. But what we are able to do here is set up a second Steelix. So if we draw into the other Oricorio, we might want to even just go into Pichu and set it up and let him take 2 prizes. That way we could at least use another Oricorio at some point later in the game, right? Because, again, this is going to come down to Steelix here. And I want to bait out the Lilies. I want him to have to play his Lily due to Oricorio damage. He's playing Magby, okay. Pichu and Magby, yeah. I wonder, he's got to be playing Cyrus, right? I mean, he's got, what, 1 card left? He's got 5 cards left. He hasn't played any Lily. And I assume he's playing probably 2 copies of Lily. And we've yet to see a second Copycat and a second Quick Growth Extract. So if we do some math here, he might be playing only 2 babies. I assume he's probably playing maybe 3. Probably another Growth Extract, perhaps another Copycat. So the Lily's in there as well. We do break out, finally. But unfortunately, we are toast. So, okay. So let's see if we can make this happen here. If he has Cyrus, then I just don't know if we can really ever win here, unless maybe we get lucky with an Oricorio. We do draw into it. So I think we have to do this. I do. I think this is really the only way, considering that both of his Venusaurs are evolved. I am just going to, yeah, but if we get trapped in the active, that's the issue, right? I guess so we have to bank on us potentially being able to break out of 1 sleep. Because if I go into Steelix now and I hit for 120, sure, he only hits me for 80 damage, but he is going to poison me. And that's just not something we really want. So I'm going to sacrifice this Pichu here just to Crackly Toss, just because him getting this extra prize should not matter. I don't think he'll have any extra way here to, deal with Oricorio. So we want to attack him again and maybe bait out at least 1 Lily. That might be our only hope here. We'll have to see. Again, 4 cards in hand. He hasn't played any Lily yet. I'm just curious if he's playing. So we know probably at least 1 of these is Lily. We know 1 of these is probably a Growth Extract. Maybe 2 Lily. So I don't know what that last card could be other than maybe Cyrus. You know what I mean? That's the difficult part, right? We also have to break out of sleep here. We can't get very unlucky on the sleeps. We need to flip heads at least once. Like that's the goal here. So let's see if we can, cheese out this game here with Oricorio. These are the types of games that you're going to be seeing this season. It's definitely tough. He could be playing Sabrina, so I don't actually want to bench the Pichu. We can go ahead and go full setups here. We have another heavy helmet in the deck. And anyway, 50 more damage onto the Venusaur. I assume a Lily will get played here. I got to assume. Now he can only, it's Erica. Okay, so maybe 1 Erica, 1 Lily. Interesting. Anyway, he's only dealing 10 damage to us because we haven't seen like a Nihilego or something. Some Venusaur decks might be playing Nihilego. So he's only going to be doing 10 damage every turn with the poison, or 20 at the end of our turn. So We got to be a little bit cognizant of that. And we flip tails again. Okay. All right, it's not really working out for us. I was hoping we would get like one more attack off, but it's just not really happening. I'm just gonna play the copy get here to probably draw into our second heavy helmet. And yeah, we just gotta not get absolutely cheesed by the by the sleep from Venusaur. That's really our only hope, right? So let's see if we can make that happen. At this point, I might have to retreat next turn instead of stay in, just because this poison will just take down, right? Still asleep. Okay, all right. We're getting cheesed. Again, we couldn't have gone into Mega Steelix because if he has Cyrus, then we kind of just lose. So hopefully we don't lose the game by flipping tails 6 times in a row here on the sleeps. But the same thing can happen to Mega Steelix. We got to keep that in mind, right? And if we're not attacking, then that gets rid of the the 20 damage that we are reducing. All right, we flip heads. I don't think we can stand with Oricorio again. I think that's a bit of a gamble. Let's get rid of the poison, and then maybe we can finish the game with Oricorio if we need to. So it will be time, I think, now to go into the Steelix. Let's just go into this one. Doesn't matter at all. And yeah, let's see what we can do here. Adamantine rolling. So we're going to take 20 less damage from attacks next turn, plus heavy helmet. That means 40 less damage from attacks, which will offset some of that damage from the, of course, what is it? The, from the poison, which is nice. And he does have second Erica. Okay, so he's probably done all of his healing cards. Actually, that might not be true. He might play Lily, but only 2 cards left. What are the odds that one of those is Cyrus is what I'm curious about, because I'm playing Cyrus. So if I'm playing Cyrus and he's not, that should be able to give us a pretty distinct advantage, I would imagine. But anyway, let's see if we get cheesed here with the sleep plays. We don't. Okay, but now the sketchy part is like, do we want to stay in? Probably not, right? I think we have to just retreat here. So let's pile up more energies. We have, I don't know how many energies on this thing. We got so many. So I'm just going to retreat manually here. We'll discard 4, and that leaves us with 3, which is fine. And then we'll go into this Steelix here. We'll hit him, and then next turn, hopefully we can survive a couple of turns here so that we can win with Cyrus, unless he maybe has another healing card. That's really all I can think of. The thing is, being a stage 1 Pokemon, we don't have access to Lily, so that's the only downside. Mega Steelix is more about damage reduction and not so much healing, while Venusaur is the other way around. Does he also have a Lily, is what I'm curious about. Or does he have Cyrus? I know he's got Quick Growth Extract, probably left in his hand, and he might have like another Copycat or a draw support card. We'll see. He does retreat here, and I'm curious. I'm very curious here. Oh, he does have Cyrus. Okay, all right. Now we just need to break out of sleep here because we have Cyrus. So it comes down to the coin flip because he was playing Cyrus. All right, let's see. That's all this comes down to, really. All right. No, the cheese. We got cheesed with the sleep. It feels bad. I'll show him that I had Cyrus. GG to him. What can you do? Well, literally, what can you do? The coin flip sleep, RIP to us. Shout out to Venusaur. This has got to be probably one of the not good matchups, I would assume, for Oricorio and Steelix. The sleep is broken. Our opponent got pretty lucky, I would say, with the sleep coin flips that game, but Venusaur has that RNG going for it, whereas Steelix doesn't, right? It's in the head-to-head matchup. I definitely would rather be playing Venusaur than Steelix, but both decks are pretty similar. We do have Oricorio. If only we were able to utilize it a little bit more instead of only getting like 2 attacks off the entire game with Oricorio. Listen, like, sleep is broken. It's RNG coin flips. In this matchup, that's really what that's going to come down to. Now we're playing Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, I think. I don't know. I don't watch One Piece. But anyway, fun games. Venusaur, again, definitely not the matchup we want to hit. I like Venusaur. I do. I don't really love it as much into maybe a lot of other matchups in the game. Like, it just is something that I think can struggle into things other than other really slow decks like Steelix. You know what I mean? That's definitely one of the few matchups where it's probably relevant. We're playing a Psychic type deck here. Could be Altaria, which does scare me. We are leading Onyx, which is always kind of awkward. We might have to just let the active Onyx go down, depending on how quickly our opponent's able to get going. Double Indeedee. So I don't know what our opponent's playing. He's going first. Psychic type double Indeedee. I mean, it could be a lot of things, right? This isn't ranked, so we have no idea what's going on. Our opponent could be playing literally anything. Maybe it's the new Reunilus. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's like Altaria. Who knows? I have no idea. It is Gardevoir. So maybe Reunilus, I think, is probably what this matchup is, which is a little bit scary, I will say, because we don't deal that much damage, right? So between Indeedees and Gardevoirs, like, it's something that we're going to probably struggle with. But anyway, you know, again, in the ranked ladder, like, if this was a tournament, like, things would be maybe a little bit different. But because this isn't a tournament, then, like, you know, it's a lot less, you know, we're playing less meta decks, and Oricorio is very much an anti-meta deck, and anti-meta card. Whereas, like, you know, if we're not playing in tournaments, if we're playing a bunch of random weird fringed meta decks, then Oricorio is probably less useful, right? Second heavy helmet and Brock. Okay, so it looks like we might just be committing to the active. I have nothing else to really attach to here, so I'm just gonna bench the Oricorio, and I guess I'll just bench the Pichu. He might be playing Copycat. So I'll just do this. He does have Indeedee, which is going to deal damage based around how many energies I have attached, which is sketchy, right? But anyway, 1 energy, heavy helmet, maybe it's fine. Who knows? If he attaches to the active, then that's obviously going to be a little bit scary. Clearly, right? Yeah, okay, all right. Interesting, for sure. I might want to evolve here just so I don't take damage, but then I can't Brock, so I'm just going to attach. Okay. What is the play here? Is it to Brock? We get KO'd though. No, we have to Brock evolve. You know, that's how it works. But the thing is, we're not even KOing the Indeedee, which is really funny, actually. We could actually retreat. We could get 3 energies onto this Onix and then retreat, which would be pretty funny. But then Pichu goes down, and then I guess we could pivot into Oricorio and really play the long game. Is that really the better play? It might be, you know. It literally might be. That's crazy. Because we're not going to KO. You know what I mean? And he's dealing a lot of damage because Indeedee's obviously a Pokemon we can't deal with very well. So I guess we have to burn the Brock. This just doesn't feel very good, but we have to do it like this. We're going to burn this. Leading Onix is tough. And then we actually have to retreat into Pichu, which is hilarious. And then I'm just going to go ahead and crackly toss to Oricorio. What a play here. But again, literally our only option. I just don't want to take like 140 damage from the Indeedee because we're not 1 KOing it. That's the thing with Steelix. It does 120, which is a really awkward amount of damage. So he's going to commit to the Indeedee here, and then what we're going to do is commit to the Oricorio play. That's what we have done already. So anyway, he's going to play his second May. I assume he is probably playing a bunch of Pokemon, a bunch of evolution Pokemon like Gardevoir, right? Like Reunilus and things like that. Mega Steelix, again, definitely really good into probably like the combo of Oricorio and Mega Steelix is going to be good into like the typical meta decks that, you know, you're going to play. Things like Suicune Greninja, like Hydreigon, like Absol, like that type of stuff. I think if you take a look at its matchup spreads, like that's the type of stuff, he doesn't even attack, which is crazy. We draw into second Brock, which I love. We absolutely love that. Do we Pichu again is the question. Probably not. Do we just immediately go into Oricorio? I do want to get the attack off. I wonder why he didn't attack. I guess we will just do this then. That's fine. He's going to let us do it, so we might as well just take the opportunity to get double energies here. And we'll go on the Oricorio. So next turn we can attack with Oricorio, and then on the following turn we can go into Mega Steelix, and I guess that's sort of our game plan here. We haven't seen a Solosis here, or any hint of a Reunilus. So he's going to attach to the Gardevoir again, setting up the opportunity to be able to KO the Oricorio. Totally fine here, because Steelix will be able to deal with Gardevoir. So we do draw the Serena, so I'm just going to play it then. And now we'll get damage off onto the Indeedee, and that is a damaged Pokemon. I guess he's going to be able to just heal it up for 40, but at least it's damaged, so it still matters, I guess. We'll do this. We'll evolve now, because we've already used both Brocks. Yeah, we'll just hit him for 50 here with Oricorio. Sure. This is obviously not like the best thing in the world, but he might be bricking a little bit, so... I was worried about the Reunilus. Maybe he's playing like Pokemon Center Lady on top of this. I don't really know, because he can double heal for 40, but then he's left with 10, and then we can bring this back up and KO it with Cyrus later in the game. But Indeedee is going to be chunking this Steelix for a lot of damage. Even with the minus 40, it's going to be a lot. Yeah, there's the Solosis. All right. We know what's going on here, for sure. We know what's up. Here comes the double heal here. I wonder if he's going to stay in. It'd be a weird play. I don't know what else he would go into if he wouldn't stay in. I guess he can't take any damage. He can attack Oricorio here. Oh, he plays Cape. All right, cool. But he's going to Cape the Duosion. Okay, all right. Or the Solosis. All right. interesting. Again, we don't play any hand disruption with this deck, which is tough. And I don't know if doing 20 damage every turn is going to be enough to win here. Because like the double Indeedee, like we're going to need Cyrus at some point to KO this Indeedee. You know, this is going to be a tough matchup. Like our deck is slow. So like we're going up against like other slow like build up decks that like, to be fair, kind of don't care that much about Oricorio. So he is going to retreat into the Indeedee. So he's going to go negative energy here. But if he does have Gardevoir, which I assume he will soon, only 5 cards in deck, then that's going to be its own issue. Let's see if we can draw a, okay. All right. I was really hoping maybe we would be able to draw what is it? A Sabrina or Cyrus, but both of them are in the deck right now. I'm just going to hit the active here. And again, we're going to be putting him in the same position where it's going to be left with, 10 damage onto it. And then again, just another target. So that's kind of the hope here is to utilize Sabrina Cyrus to win this game. Here comes Rare Candy. This is probably Gardevoir. No, it's Reunilus. Okay, a little bit interesting. I wonder if he's also going to have Gardevoir. That's his first Rare Candy. Again, he's getting his entire board state set up, which is scary for us. And here he goes, 170 HP. What an absolute tank here. He can't go into it yet. Or I guess he can, but he can't attack. So I don't know if that's the best strategy for him, if I'm being honest. But, you know, we'll see here. Oricorio is not going to be helpful here because he's going to be healing for like 120 damage every turn. It's just sketchy. Like, so 40 plus... what is it, 30? Yeah, it's going to be a tough one here. I guess we'll start setting up this Onyx. I still know Sabrina, so I think we just kind of take the KO right now. Potentially. We gotta take the prizes here where we can, right? Because Cyrus is going to be a win condition later in the game. So let's just do that. Again, only 4 cards in the deck. We have Sabrina and Cyrus in our deck, and we can KO now. And we're going to take 40 less damage next turn, which means that the Reunilus is only going to hit us for 50. Right? So we're going to be able to live for a little while and hit him for 120 every turn. But the 120 is not going to actually help because he's probably just going to fully heal it. Yeah, we will be able to just bring up this Indeedee to KO it. So that kind of somewhat worked a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. But we are going to get hit for a decent amount of damage here. So I think we just have to buy our time to potentially bring up this Indeedee to KO it. Unless he's playing another healing card. Okay, here comes Rare Candy Gardevoir. So, you know, here comes plus 50 HP now. So he's going to be going, well, actually it's plus, so it's 30 because he can manually attach. So it's going to be 80 every turn. So we're only hitting him for 40 damage every turn, and he's hitting us for 50. So not going to work very well for us, I will say. But again, Cyrus is our win condition here on this Indeedee, right? Unless he plays a second cape onto it. And we draw into the Cyrus. All right, cool. Finally. We get a little bit lucky. Again, these games are definitely slow. We've hit Venusaur and Reunilus back to back with Mega Steelix. I mean, what are the absolute odds of both of those matchups? Everybody's playing these really slow, grindy decks. I'm not going to be able to do much gameplay or I guess a bunch of different games in this video, which is pretty funny. But yeah, man. Hey, what a fun meta game we have here. I think things are going to be pretty diverse for the next couple of weeks, right? The Lopunny stuff's interesting. Charizard's interesting. Venusaur. There's a lot. I mean, the Magnezone stuff is crazy as well. Even like the new Ariados Whimsicott stuff, I almost made a video on it. But I wanted to highlight this deck because I didn't have any Steelix lists in yesterday's video. And when I saw this deck list, I realized this was something that would be really fun to showcase, which is why we're doing it here today. And again, really good win rates in tournaments. Comment down below, like what your thoughts are about this particular strategy. Again, like it really depends on which decks are popular in the metagame, but you know, Oricorio Steelix is going to be good into a couple of really popular meta decks. And I think that's going to be one of the more significant aspects of it. So we are potentially playing the mirror match here. I see Steel in the energy type. I don't know what else that could possibly be. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Pretty cool. All right. We do have Oricorio, but we're both leading Onyx, which is hilarious. So Heavy Helmet's going to come down. It's really going to come down to who draws their Brox, isn't it? We're going to need Brox in play for sure. Okay. Okay. There's Brock. I'm just going to bench all of this stuff here. I'm just going to bench it. He is going second, so he's going to have the energy advantage, which is unfortunate. So if he has Brox, then he's just going to hit me before I can hit him, which means we might have to sack the active Onyx, but we don't have the second Onyx yet. Okay, so no Brock turn 1 for him. That's a good sign for us. Should be a good sign for us. I wonder, though, is he playing, like, what other Pokemon is he playing? Because if he's not playing Oricorio, then Oricorio should just win us the game, right? At least when he evolves. Double Brox, we're popping off. But we, unfortunately, though, we don't have We don't have Steelix, but we would like Steelix. So next, if we top deck a Steelix and we KO him next turn, that's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. We are playing Serena in the deck, but we got a Brock next turn, so we'll see. Okay, double Mantykes, I guess, is crazy. I think if you're going to play the baby Pokemon package with, you know, with Steelix, I think you probably just play Pikachu and Oricorio. I think it's just going to win you more games that way, even though it's a little bit of a, you know, a degenerate strategy. He does get the Brock here, so he's going to hit us for 50. I wonder if he's got Steelix in hand, because if he does, we're cooked. If we don't see Steelix here, then I think we kind of just lose the game. We might be able to just manually retreat into Pichu and then set up Oricorio, but that's not going to help us in the face of this Onix, right? So that's kind of the scary part here. We couldn't Sabrina? Yeah, okay, all right. It's not looking great for us here. Okay. Jeez Louise. I think we just lose here. I think we probably just end up losing this game because Mega Steelix, he probably is going to have it, and he's just ahead on energies, right? So we did have Brock Metal Energy, but we don't have Steelix in hand. So if we retreat, he doesn't have to evolve. He's just going to KO the Onix. That's obviously not ideal at all. So I guess, honestly, the best play for us here is to Brock. It's tough, man. It's going to be to Brock, attach, and then retreat, discard the fighting, and this is so bad. It's literally our only play because we didn't get Steelix here. We do have cards to draw Steelix, but unfortunately this isn't going to be how we do it. So anyway, we're going to have to Crackly Toss like this onto the Onix, and then sacrifice both Pichu and Oricorio. If we had a second Onix, we could set it up, but we don't. So this is really our only play. We had to burn double Brocks and retreat, which is hilarious, but there's literally nothing else we can do here. We know he's probably playing Cyrus and or Sabrina. Oh, it's baby Steelix. So great. We would have gotten KO'd regardless, but that's pretty funny. Because he's going to be able to deal with... did he just copycat too? Okay, we need Mega Steelix, like very, very significantly here. Okay, he does get the heavy helmet down. This thing's a beast, by the way. 100 damage, 150. It's kind of a tank. Anyway, we're gonna have to let this Oricorio go down and then hope that you know, Mega Steelix comes through here. That's the game plan. Unfortunately, nothing else we can do here. I guess we can bench the second Oricorio to get around. You know, if he has Sabrina or something. Second Onix is hilarious. I'm just gonna bench this, and I guess we'll also bench this. Why not? Why not? Still no Steelix in the deck. Double Mega Steelix, as well as a Research, a Copycat, and a Serena. So our entire deck is cards that we sort of need to get there. Let's see. So he's going to Research again. He's got 6 cards in deck. We have 8. He has another Brock. Yeah, that Pokeball is probably going to be for the second Onix, which is really tough. Because, yeah, we're just way behind on energy. So he's going to start setting this up now. I mean, it's going to be so difficult to win this game, I think, at this point, just being so far behind the way we are. Especially if we just don't top deck into Mega Steelix here. I don't even think it's, like, possible, but maybe. I mean, you never know. Just unfortunate, right, to whiff it there early. Research. Can we draw it? Can we do it? Okay. All right. The game's not over yet. Not quite. But almost. He's going to be hitting us for 60 next turn if he stays in the Steelix. We do hit him for 100, which is all right. But, I mean, we're never going to have enough time to set up the other. But, you know, you got to keep in mind, like, you know, at the end of the day, if he evolves us into Mega Steelix, which he probably will, you know, we can't just go into Oricorio here and then stall, right? And then it's going to come down to whether he has Sabrina or Cyrus, which he probably does, you know. But, yeah. Yeah, there's the Brock. Okay, so he's got, what is this, 3 more energies on the board than we do, which is really tough. And he is just going to stay in and hit us, which is really tough. So I think we got to stay in here. I think we have to stay in. I mean, we could, yeah. I don't think Sabrina here is going to do anything for us. Maybe we should have even attached that to Oricorio, but it's all good. I don't think we Sabrina here, so I'm just going to hit him. We'll take 40 less turns, so even if he goes next turn, he can't actually... Oh, no, he can't because he procced. So even if he goes Mega Steelix next turn, which he probably will, you know, we live in a hit, and then he probably just has Cyrus, and we're going to lose. I don't think any deck right now is going to be playing not Cyrus. Like, I think every deck should be playing Cyrus, so just something we have to live with, right? Now, if he whiffs Mega Steelix this turn... Oh, Dialga. Interesting. And he... Okay, sorry, all right. So he just has it regardless. Obviously, unfortunate... And he's going to Copycat to draw the last, 3 cards in his deck. We got to assume, right? We literally have to assume that he's got a way to bring back up the Steelix. So he's going to hit us here for 80, and then we'll have to just be forced to retreat into Oricorio, and then I'm sure he's just going to bring us up in KOS. There's no... We were just too far behind by not having a Pokemon earlier in the game, right? There's nothing we can do about it. But the baby Steelix is interesting. I don't think it's really worth it or necessary in like almost any scenario, but yeah, that's where we're at, right? So anyway, got to retreat into Oricorio and hope he doesn't have any Gust. That's our win condition at this point, because he's got nothing left on the board to KO us. But again, we can kind of assume, right, that he's going to be able to do that. So, yeah. Also, like, if you have Sabrina, it also works, right? Because we can't really get around that. So, anyway, I guess, do we have a second Oricorio in the deck? We don't. All right. Yeah, it's probably Wraps. It's tough. Going first into the head-to-head and not drawing into the evolution Pokemon is tough. So, nothing you can do there. But I do like Steelix. I do. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a good Pokemon, and I think Oricorio is worth running. It's just one of those things where, oh, he just concedes. Okay, so he's not playing Sabrina or Cyrus, which is hilarious. So there you go, I guess. You got to play something in your deck. But, I mean, to be fair, I guess he was playing Baby Steelix, so maybe that's why he wasn't playing Gust. But not one copy of Cyrus is very surprising. I'm surprised to not see that there. If I'm being honest. But anyway, that's it, guys. Oricorio Steelix. Is it the flashiest deck out there? Probably not. And again, it is a bit of a rehash of the, the Absol Oricorio package from at the beginning of last season, but that's what early seasons are like, utilizing Oricorio to win games. And it is, I think, probably the best way to play Mega Steelix. I think Mega Steelix isn't bad, but it just is missing something. It's not necessarily super fast paced, doesn't deal a bunch of damage. So you kind of have to pair it with something like Oricorio as a win condition, as you just saw there, right? We just won the game because of Oricorio. So, I like it. Shout out to Mena of Steel, who I got the deck list from. Go check him out on Twitch. He's an incredible streamer, one of my favorites, one of the, the cornerstones of the Pocket streaming community. So, yeah, man, I mean, Steelix Oricorio. What do you guys think? I think it's really strong. I do. There's going to be a whole bunch of decks in the meta that just literally can't deal with it because with the damage reduction and the tankiness as well as Oricorio, it's a lot to deal with. And Brock is actually pretty clutch. Like Pichu plus Brock is a lot of energy. And theoretically, you can actually go turn 2 Steelix. So keep that in mind. It is possible. But anyway, guys, there it is. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers. Do not forget to register for our tournament this weekend, PMPT 13. $1,000 cash. Literally $1,000 cash in the prize pool. Link to register down in the description below. Yeah, man, let's wrap it up here. We have one more word from our sponsor, and then the video is going to wrap up. So peace out, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Don't forget to use the link down in the description below to download Marvel Strike Force today and use promo code VENOMFREE to unlock Venom at no cost. Thanks again to Marvel Strike Force for sponsoring today's video.